You won't believe this. The greatest footballer alive once shared a leaking tin roof house and dreamed barefoot under the Madeira rain. From poverty to glory, from tears to trophies, Ronaldo's journey shows how belief and hard work can rewrite destiny itself. And here's where it all started. Not in a stadium, not under bright lights, but on a small island in the Atlantic Ocean, Madeira. Cristiano's childhood home wasn't the kind you see in documentaries with smiling faces. The roof leaked every time it rained. Paint peeled off the walls. Ocean winds crept through cracked windows at night. His mother, Maria Dolores, worked endless hours cleaning houses, while his father, Dinis, spent his days as a gardener and nights fighting the bottom. Cristiano didn't have toys or shoes, just a ball made of rags and a dream too big for his neighborhood. Every evening, you'd find him barefoot, chasing that ball through the steep streets of Funchal. While others slept, he'd stare out his tiny window, listening to waves crash, imagining stadiums full of fans chanting his name. He didn't know it yet, but those dreams would become his lifeline. But here's where it gets harder. His father, Dinis, loved football, but his battle with alcohol slowly broke the family apart. Still, he never stopped believing in his son. He made him handmade footballs from old socks and scraps, a father's quiet gift to a boy chasing an impossible dream. Football wasn't just a game for Cristiano, it was survival. Every kick was a promise to his mother, every goal a chance to escape the life they were trapped in. Can you imagine being that young, knowing your only way out was your feet? At just 8 years old, he got his first real shot, joining a small local club called Andorinha, the same place his father cleaned locker rooms. The pitch wasn't green, it was rough dirt mixed with stone. Every fall left his knees bleeding, but he'd get up without a word. Older boys tried to push him, and he responded with speed. Blazing, fearless, unstoppable. His coaches didn't just see talent, they saw obsession. He wasn't playing to impress, he was playing to escape, and each game brought him closer to that dream he saw through his cracked window back home. You could already tell, this kid was built differently. Even as his name began to spread across the small island, poverty still clung to his family like a shadow. He helped his mom clean and carried tools for his dad, but every spare minute he was on the streets, practicing, kicking the ball against walls for hours. No fancy gear, no coach yelling drills, just pure hunger. For Cristiano, football was no longer fun. It had a purpose. It was freedom. And that hunger, it started to scare people, because even then, you could tell he'd die before giving up. And this next part, it's heavy. Years later, his mother revealed she once thought about ending the pregnancy. They were too poor, too tired, too desperate, but fate had other plans. When Ronaldo found out, he didn't get angry, he turned it into fire. "She tried to abort me," he once said, "but God didn't want that to happen. That's why I'm here, to prove I was meant to live." That line says everything about him. From that moment on, he wasn't just playing for money or fame. He was playing to prove he was chosen to fight. And here's where the story takes its first heartbreaking turn. At just 12 years old, Cristiano got the call every young player dreams of. Sporting CP wanted him, one of Portugal's biggest clubs. But it meant leaving everything behind. His island, his friends, his mother's cooking, even the ocean breeze that rocked him to sleep. At the airport, his mother packed his tiny suitcase and held him tight, trying not to cry. Cristiano promised her, "I'll make you proud. I'll make us rich one day." She smiled through tears, knowing this goodbye was also a beginning. He boarded that plane alone, a scared boy with dreams far bigger than his body. Lisbon felt colder, louder, and harsher, but he had no choice. This was his shot, and he swore that if sacrifice was the price of greatness, he'd pay it. But the dream wasn't easy. It never is. In Lisbon, he was just another kid with an accent that the others laughed at. They called him Crybaby because he'd sob quietly at night, missing home, missing his family. But when he stepped on the field, everything changed. His tears turned into fire, his sadness into fuel. He trained harder than anyone else. Sprints, free kicks, drills, again and again until the floodlights went off. While others went out for fun, he stayed behind, perfecting every movement. Some coaches thought he was arrogant, but then they saw it. This wasn't pride, it was pure obsession. A 12-year-old is already acting like a professional, and maybe that's what separated him. Everyone else was playing football, but Ronaldo was building himself into something unbreakable. Then came the moment that almost ended everything. At 15, doctors discovered a heart condition. His heartbeat raced too fast. It could have killed his career before it even started. His mother was terrified, but Cristiano? He smiled and said, "I'll be fine." He underwent laser surgery, and within days, yes, days, he was back training as if nothing had happened. Most would have rested. He refused. That heart, once a threat, became his symbol. Because even when his body said stop, his willpower screamed, "Go."
e com quaresma à esquerda.
By 16, Ronaldo's talent was undeniable. Sporting Lisbon's coaches started matching him with older players, grown men, and he made them look ridiculous. His footwork, his speed, his confidence. It was like watching a storm form out of nowhere. Word spread fast. There's a kid from Madeira who plays like he's got fire in his veins. Scouts came, journalists whispered, and even rival players stopped to watch. Everyone knew this wasn't just potential. This was the birth of something extraordinary. And then came the night that changed football history forever. Sporting Lisbon hosted Manchester United in a friendly. For the English Giants, it was supposed to be an easy warm-up match. But what they got instead was a masterclass from a skinny teenager in green and white. Cristiano ripped through United's defense like they were standing still. Step-overs, pace, precision. The defenders were dizzy, the crowd electric. When the final whistle blew, the United players rushed to Sir Alex Ferguson and said, "You have to sign this kid." Sir Alex didn't need convincing. Within weeks, the boy from Madeira became a Red Devil for a record £12.24 million. The barefoot dreamer from the slums of Madeira had made it to Manchester. But this was just the beginning. When Cristiano joined Manchester United, the excitement was mixed with uncertainty. A new language, unfamiliar culture, and brutal English weather. Everything felt strange. But Sir Alex Ferguson saw something special. He gave Ronaldo the legendary number 7 shirt, once worn by George Best and David Beckham. The pressure was immense, but Ronaldo embraced it. He spent hours after training perfecting his dribbling, free kicks, and physique. Teammates often laughed at his obsession with mirrors, calling him vain, but soon they saw the transformation. His tricks turned into assists, his flicks into goals. Sir Alex shaped his raw talent into ruthless efficiency, teaching him that end product wins games. By 2006, Ronaldo wasn't just entertaining fans, he was deciding matches. The lonely boy in Lisbon had turned into a Premier League champion, a conqueror of the world, ready to brave it. During the 2006 World Cup, the exciting Ronaldo could not handle his fiery passion. The incident with Wayne Rooney, who was his teammate, resulted in Rooney getting a red card, and the English media venting all their anger through a storm. Cheat, traitor, villain. He was blamed for everything, and the headlines kept boasting his name for all the wrong reasons. Ronaldo considered it best to leave the English Premier League, but Sir Alex Ferguson changed his mind and instead persuaded him to stay and fight, proving everybody wrong. And that's what he did. Ronaldo returned refreshed, more concentrated, and more lethal than ever. Over the next 24 months, he was literally unplayable, scoring from free kicks and headers with either foot and taking United to victory. In 2008, he was awarded the Ballon d'Or. The world at last acknowledged what he had always thought: greatness is independent of validation. 2008 was Cristiano's year of destiny. His total of 42 goals scored was a large part of the Champions League, the Premier League, and eventually the Ballon d'Or. What a journey it was! From a kid playing without shoes in Madeira to the best footballer in the world, the transformation was superb. But still, he was sure it was just the beginning. The year 2009 saw the biggest ever £80 million transfer of the world's most expensive player from Manchester United to Real Madrid. The record was shattered. Ronaldo was like a hurricane when he won the Bernabeu. Perfection was screamed at every goal, every sprint, and every celebration. The period of 9 years, which was unforgettable, saw the player scoring 451 goals in just 438 games. These were incredible statistics. With 4 Champions League titles plus many records, he became Madrid's undisputed destroyer. But the Ronaldo-Messi rivalry made it an iconic time. The epic clash between art versus machine, flair versus power. The El Clasico games turned into a war of legacies. They were the ones who put a name to the era, 2 gladiators leading football dreamers to the highest limits. Ronaldo didn't just score goals, he built an empire of moments that fans will never forget. Now in Saudi Arabia, Ronaldo continues to defy time. Critics said his career was over, but he keeps rewriting the story, breaking records, leading teams, and proving age is just a number. Every goal reminds the world, hunger doesn't retire. The fire that burned in that Madeira boy still burns today. Cristiano's story isn't just about football, it's about belief. Every obstacle, every insult, every setback became his fuel. He turned pain into purpose, transforming weakness into power. His journey reminds us, the only limits are the ones you accept. Whether you're chasing a dream or fighting your own battle, remember Ronaldo's lesson. It's not about talent, it's about persistence. The boy who once cried in a Lisbon dorm became the man who conquered the world, because he never stopped believing in himself. Ronaldo's life teaches one truth: greatness isn't given, it's earned. From dusty Madeira streets to football's grandest stages, his rise proves that resilience beats privilege. So when you feel unseen or underestimated, think of Cristiano, the boy who believed and turned belief into destiny.